ought to have first had such a conversation like of now, possible at a larger platform, and we come out to a conclusion before you make a statement. But now, this seems to be bringing confusion. Yet, me, I think us giving in to that as of now, we are done. So, the policy is our major task. The policy is still standing, guys. Now, I know by now most of us must have read the policy. Let me give you your head. If this policy is still standing as of now, it is inconsequential to think that us reporting anything will change. In as far as the policy is concerned, I think it to be resolved with this conversation before we make a clear way forward. And we encourage people to report. We have no problem with reporting, but how are we reporting? Now, they have made us appear as if our problem has been the Carito money. That from lunch now to 1 million, which cannot even take a month, ideally. So let us concentrate our discussion on the policy and other things. So I think, as I conclude, I don't want to take much of time because I want to give you guys time to deliberate. And I've been offline and I'm receiving a lot of a lot of issues which I need to handle. But in my opinion, I still believe that we can still engage these people to make adjustments as we have been putting it in writing to them. None of them has been implemented so far. So now, why the reason for us now to go when nothing has been tackled? Because nothing has been tackled at all. Thank you so much, colleagues.
Thank you very much, Dr. Chirunda, for that brief background and then those words of guidance. However, in summary, Dr. Chirunda has highlighted the 4 core principles, the 4 core demands that we have always provided in all our letters. And it is very evident that none of those 4 core principles, 4 core demands have been fulfilled. And to wrap it all, we had agreed that any statement that is provided should be written. Without wasting a lot of time, I would like to introduce our president, Dr. Shego, to launch the next agenda. Thank you very much, Doctor. You're welcome.
As you've heard, Dr. Chirunda. Okay, anyway, this is my take on the subject. Firstly and foremost, I hope Dr. Prof is here. It's so bad that okay, it's unfortunate that maybe Dr. Ututu was not invited. Yes, it's okay. But I feel like I think I'll leave the technicalities of the policy and everything to be addressed by these other persons. Dr. Chirunda has spoken. I'll let Dr. Lutai also speak about some of those technicalities. Personally, I'm going to address the most important part of our way forward and the predicament in which we are, because it's a conundrum, really. Right now, we are quite divided. Some people are saying we report, some people are saying we don't report. And some people feel like we have not been answered. And I also feel like we have not been answered. Why should a policy that was launched in May start with us? Think about it. If you have read this circular of the implementation circular that I shared with you on the platform one time, it has that paragraph that talks about transitional arrangements. And then it says that trainees who commence training before commencement of the standards shall be allowed to continue and complete their training under the arrangements provided, and that institutions and training sites operating before commencement shall be granted a defined transition compliance period, blah, blah, blah. But it talks about the policy basically not being applied retrospectively. The policy should have been applied like before even actually maybe even the guys in year one should not be subjected to this policy. But according to what the minister said, you'll note that the policy was applied with immediate effect. That's one. Two, this policy, these guys have not listened to our plea. They have given us the illusion of solving our problems, but they haven't. Why did they say that? That we shall receive allowances this current cohort and maybe up to the end of this year. What happens next year? What happens to the next cohort? We're still in this hurry. Number two, that's why we always insisted, and we have been telling people before that this fight is not for allowances only. This fight is against the policy. The policy also talks about examinations, but does not clearly tell how these bodies will be placed and which body is setting these exams and how they'll be handled and what. And those things, you cannot set them between now and the it's not a 6 months time thing to do to get qualified people to govern these boards, fund them, make them fully functioning. It just doesn't work. So we emphasize that our fight was not against only allowances, but against the policy as a whole. So today, when I see that people are excited about the 1 million and they're all rushing to report, the exams are going to catch you, because at the end of the day, these exams are not to assess your competence, but to limit numbers. And these exams come with prices. You're going to do pre-rotation, pre-entry, then mid-rotation or end of rotation exams, and then post-internship exams, and you're going to pay for these things. You see it happening in pharmacy school, it's going to happen now. And the exams are going to ensure that medical students are governable. Because if you read this circular, the introduction it says that this policy, I'll quote from it, says that this policy's role is to ensure the standard and governance of interns, among other things. So it's to ensure the governance of interns. Right now, you see what PSU does. Pharmacists, whatever they command. Anyway, this policy, the main intention of this policy, we all know that it was to ensure that interns are governed, among other things. The quality is the secondary effect. So the governance comes in the time whereby they want to remove allowances, they want to do this. So if a person has exams like next month, even if they don't receive allowances, even if they are working for free, they will not lay down tools because they have exams next month. 3, our stand has always been that 1 million is not enough money, and that is the truth. All interns will tell you. If you guys have read the FOMI report from last year, you'll find that over 80% of interns are relying on loans. Over 90%, 95% and above of interns are saying the money is not enough. And let me tell you the truth that interns are surviving by taking loans and doing all that. But anyway, having said all that, let me also say this from the beginning. We have reached here where we are because of joint efforts. Prof, you have given us good guidance. You have been my personal mentor. You have helped us here. Pharmacists, interns did not report because PSU issued a statement. All these bodies have issued statements. Interns, you have also done your part. Actually, in the very beginning, I was still on my Thanksgiving speech, but someone interrupted and We had said we gave the Prof the microphone and all that, but yes. So, however, I want to still say that, please, for the record, Uganda Medical Association, Prof, these things are taking a stand. Now, I'm saying this with all humility, yeah, that before we make a stance as a body, maybe let's have a general assembly where we can talk about these issues and see what interns are doing, are thinking, because at the end of the day, as if Uganda Medical Association comes out with a clear stance that says, today we are saying you go and report. It has clear-cut implications on the interns. So right now we shall anticipate that because of what all these bodies have said and all that, there are some people who are going to report. But my inbox is also flooded with people who are saying, no, we cannot report. So at the end of the day, there is going to be that tug of war. Therefore, I'm humbly requesting that we keep engaging before we make these declarations. I was also of the view that tomorrow we can have a general assembly as interns, and then we make a vote on our way forward, whether we are reporting under the current circumstances or whether we are not reporting under the current circumstances. So if you're an intern and you think your view is reporting, convince your friend, sell them your idea. If you think your view is not reporting, sell your idea. At the end of the day, we shall go with the majority because we want to act as one. You understand? We need to act as one. Personally, my personal conviction, this is my personal conviction, that today was a breakthrough once the Honorable Minister said that, guys, we are giving you 1 million. The status quo about graduation will remain. That was already a win. We won because we had the bargaining power. We got the bargaining power because we did not report in the first place and we stood our ground. Therefore, I was personally of the impression that we had the chance, or we still have the chance, to bargain a little more and get a good deal. This deal right now is not sweet for us. This deal is the minimum they can give. So my personal impression is that we could bargain with them more and we get a much better deal. Therefore, that is my personal opinion. That yes, they have given us this deal, this is their offer, but I strongly believe that we can get a much better deal. Even if the 4 million refuses, the one we've been saying about, we can reinstate the presidential directive, 2.5. But even if the 2.5 refuses, maybe we can do the 2 million. But once we report, we give away our only bargaining card. Our bargaining power that was in no reporting, we shall give it away by reporting. You've seen that these sites, most people have been intimidated on these sites by their supervisors. And even though they were home, these people were forced to report. Imagine what it takes for someone who has not reported to report due to intimidation from a supervisor he has never seen, he has never met. They are forced into reporting. Now imagine that person going to be on ward when the supervisor sees them every day. The supervisor has gotten their faces and their names. Do you think it's practical to lay down tools? That's number one. Number two, it's not practical for interns will not lay down those tools. I'm telling you. Plus, some of these interns will be getting some small deals here and there. So they will not want to leave the working sites. Let me give you a live example. I am in close touch with, I always tell you, these people of 2024, they are leaders, and I learn a lot from them because even my brother was there. I used to see what they were doing and their struggle. And perhaps that is why, when it comes to handling this issue, I'm quite a little bit, my performance has been quite a little bit good because I mix in what we did in 2024 with what we are doing now. So the strategies accordingly. So that's why I see our strategy yield results, over 95% results. So those people in 2024, they agreed. They were like, okay, guys, now that you've been given the 1 million, let us go and report. Then after 3 months, we shall do what? We shall lay down tools. That's what the 2024 people did. That's what they agreed upon because they had fought. They demonstrated over 3 times. Some of them were arrested over the times, and again, they did all these things. They contacted those people, the spies, what you understand, the bloggers. So
Dr.
by the
Shego,
time,
a minute.
okay,
Professor Frank has failed to join the meeting, and we need him on board. I don't know how we are going to do it. How can we do that?
Has failed.
He's saying his link has failed.
Dr. Isaac, what are you gonna do?
You remove Ogwang.
Hello?
Okay. No, but there are only 561 participants, and they say the link accommodates 1,000. So I don't know. I think it's full.
Hello?
You can be heard. So
Sorry,
now,
my mic is...
Please remove Ogwang, remove him faster. He's a snake.
so
It's okay. Shego.
before President will come in, let me finalize.
No, I just wanted to say, let me just reach where Prof. Frank is, and he can use my gadget if he's having challenges here in the same location.
Okay, so I think as he does that, let me proceed. So the 2024 people say that let us report and lay down tools 3 months later. At what happened? They reported 1 month, 2 months. They tried to lay down tools to reinforce the presidential directive. Do you know what happened? It was a flop. Last year, these interns said they're laying down tools. Do you know what happened? It flopped. Therefore, I believe we still have the bargaining card, the bargaining power. The only problem is, and these people have been counting on us. You don't know how many times I've met those commissioners, even this guy, Director Public Health Services, Chaba, because they told me, Chaba Inza, I think, told me that you can't win this fight. Why? Because we are going to use the divide and rule. So here, the divide and rule will be you can see what is happening. So on that, we are going to have a vote, a general assembly, where we shall vote. After voting, we shall go with the majority vote, and we shall quote it, and we shall issue a public statement. Period. So I can hand over the microphone to Dr. Isaac.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shego, for that good long submission. At this point, I don't know whether Dr. Frank is ready on call. I don't know whether he has solved the issue with the link. However, I would have wanted Dr. Frank to introduce the team from MUMA and they give us a few words before we can proceed. In my chat, Dr. Luta is having a brief engagement in a few minutes. At this juncture, I would like to welcome him to give us some information. Dr. Lutaya, unmute, you're free to speak. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vice President. You already know my names. I don't need to introduce myself. Here's the thing. I don't have a lot of time because time is against me. But what I want to tell you briefly, you have the power. While I was on X talking to the Minister of Health, at the end of my preamble, people, spread. It went as far as I don't know. I told you that those deadlines are not written on rocks. They will be amended. And I told you, we shall come back and prove whether they won't be amended. They have been amended. They are coming down to our level. They are coming down to our level. The power is with you. The power is not with them. That is simple logic and psychology. If someone submits to you who had told you initially that they will never at any one moment bend, but they are starting to, flexion is starting to happen at the trunk. Believe me, small as you are as a child, that father is going to kneel at the next point. We should not give up. Truth to be told, I sent you a message and told you that the power is with you, not with us, the leaders. As of now, the information we have, that is official. We have been communicating to Parliament. That letter I drafted to Parliament, Deputy Speaker of Parliament, the Speaker, Clerk of Parliament, all those things are there. Well listed. And these conversations were at the floor of Parliament. The MPs that we have been interacting with, things that are confidential, that I don't want to spread here. Some of them, you saw them MPs in the court sessions that happened. Those were also connections that we tried to move here and there. What I'm trying to tell you, as you're making your decisions, me, I cannot decide on your behalf. So as of now, what I have is what I'm going with. The communication that was official to the cabinet, to the Parliament, unless we go forth and make another communication. Because let's be official, let's be professional, because as of now, they are not. We expected cabinet to release an official statement in writing. These things were already clear to them. They received these letters. These are not merely letters. These are us before them on a paper. It's us before them on a paper. But what we have been receiving over time are intimidations, people trying to downplay us, give a wrong public fear over us, things that we have been counteracting. Yeah. So as of now, make decisions well knowing that the power is in your hands, not in their hands. And a lot can change. My submission to WUMA, I tried to reach out to Prof when I saw that submission. Out of respect, I respect elders, people who have been there before me, people who have been in these fights before me. And my worry is that you came in to support, not to lead. As of now, you're leading. We are the ones meant to lead. And our discussions have been, let us work together. Synergy. Right now, there's no synergy. That was a wrong move. But I know we are not 100% perfect. Human beings are not. Tomorrow will make a mistake. Shigo will make a mistake. Okanya will make a mistake. Nalutaya will make a mistake. Seguja. The thing is, what do you do thereafter? That's what matters. So we are the ones fronting the fight, but we have supporters. So what I ask is Uma to just do that. Just support us. We are the victims. We know the mud. We are going to face the mud. They will be watching us in this ring. We are the ones in the mud. So what I expected was them to come back to us. In fact, in my communication, I told you, log on so that we discuss a way forward. And we communicate again to them, looking order and professional. That will beat any threat. any intimidation that comes our way. So as of now, the standing still remains because we have not communicated otherwise. We have not made an official communication to break the concerns. So what remains as of now that we have are those that we communicated. There's no other official communication that has come from us outside. We are maintaining, I don't want to go into those concerns, but you have trusted us over time explaining these concerns. You have trusted us over time bringing these concerns before the ministers. Those who were in that meeting, you saw. So that's what we are going to do. If there is anything to the contrary, let us also discuss and come up with a joint statement. You get it? But let us not front what they are saying. What do you want, you as you? Not that, do you want what they want for you? No. I'm losing Luganda because I'm going on a Luganda platform. What do you want? You who's going for internship. What do you want? That's what we want. Not people telling us what we want, because we began on that note. Thank you very much. For the interest of time, I'll end here. May God bless you for God and my country.
Yes, at this juncture, personally, I would like to hear from Dr. Lutoti. I've seen his online. If you have something to submit, maybe you can hear from him and maybe elaborate. If you have some guidance, other guidance you would like.
Something small before Dr. Lutoti comes in. Members, I may log on for the issues of the rules and regulations in these newsrooms. So don't think that I did it intentionally, but there is a team taking minutes. We shall share and see the way forward, even though I am off. Nice time.
Okay, thank you so much, and greetings to all of you. Thank you for me, Dr. Sheko and team, Dr. Aya, everyone, for this big fight to reach where we have reached. And it's a journey, basically. We entered into negotiations. The process is not fully complete, but partially we have some results. For every negotiation, you must have objectives, definitely, as Dr. Daya stated. More like your shopping list, what exactly do you want, and then you pursue that. So we had concerns over the policy that was generated without wide stakeholder inputs, and our concerns still remain to ensure that we have a policy where whatever has been appreciated and changed verbally and in meeting and so on. For example, the definition, the interpretation of who a medical intern is. Medical intern is not a student. The aspect of graduating after doing internship, that already, of course, has been overtaken by time. We just need to see it well crafted within the document. The aspect of classification to interns, but also to the supervisors, ensuring that we have adequate number of supervisors in different centers. That is also something that is still on the table. As you realize, we have a human resource structure in public service, which largely remains on paper. Get it? So you don't have those adequate number of senior people and even entry levels where you would expect at least they give a hand in the training when you are there at those centers. So we still have a big push to ensure that the structure is filled, and we have a big push to ensure that the people are appropriately trained. So as we negotiate this, in the negotiations, you are supposed to look at the authority. Who exactly am I negotiating with? What is the history, the track record of the relationship that you have had with this negotiator, and how much authority does my negotiating partner have? As you've seen, there were efforts to start intimidation, arrest, suppress voices, and so on. But all this definitely does not mean that we relent from the course that we want. However, we have definitely appreciate every win for every goal that we want. We would wish that we are paid much more than what the government has offered. But in the incremental model for public policy making, you deal with something small, you keep increasing, working on it as you keep adding and adding. So if we had zero facilitation and the other party offers something to it, we say, okay, fine, give us that as we continue what? Negotiating. Why? Because you must also consider power and influence in the negotiation, isn't it? So what is their power over us? And also, what is our power in this situation? We have the numbers, we could choose not to report and so on, but how sustainable is this process? Remember, we are in human behavior, you are going to have divided minds as you go along. Not everyone will remain saying this is the stance and everybody should follow that. You will always have people who will go on the other side. Even as you were negotiating, pushing, I think you noticed that some of your colleagues had already actually also reported. I saw a post on X where people are starting to profile those who had already reported that they betrayed their cause. Yeah, well, we have profiled them, but of course, these are still our colleagues, and we need to see how to support them in their weaknesses as we move along. So we need to look at the power and the influence that we have. We also need to consider the commitments that are there. For example, as we negotiate, how interested are they in the negotiation? And how badly do they need an agreement from us? Do they really want or need an agreement today or later? So, as they were seeing, people have not yet reported. The minister the other day, you saw he was trying to compare the mortality rates and so on when interns are not there and so. But you know, there are several confounders to that. So we do not hold on that. But they were testing, trying to see what if these people have not yet reported, what happens? Get it? And as long as you are able to cover some of these big hospitals around where people can make noise, people in the rural settings can be able to road without necessarily any serious intervention. So we need to look at that. We need to consider any competing forces around. We need to see what can we leverage on further, even while doing internship. Thanks to the FUMI platform and also the various cadre associations, those are all platforms to continue negotiating and looking at welfare. Even with what they have promised, is it really coming? So ours is to balance completing your studies, ensuring that this post-qualification requirement of internship is met, and then ultimately you have your registration also done. But at the same time, helping those who are yet to join this area as well. There are those who are still in the medical schools. They are coming. How do we support them? And then there are those ones who are already now, you who is already there. How do we ensure that we all successfully go through this process? So it is not just all about money. Whatever they have offered, it did definitely our contribution, but it is something still from the coffers of government, taxpayer, get it. And so we appreciate it, and we appreciate the gesture. We know there is some goodwill to see things done. So we as the leaders, we have a coalition of healthcare professionals, BSU, UMA, the Association of Graduate Nurses, Midwives, FUMI, yourself, and others. We, through the leadership, we will definitely continue engaging and ensuring that we have this policy fully revised and addresses the real issues, because we need a policy. Definitely, it cannot remain in its current state. I submit.
Thank you for that submission, Doctor. Yeah. Dr. Isaac has put in another engagement, traveling, and is going very fast. So I think I'll proceed with this next part of the meeting. And so in case anyone has any submissions, you can speak.
Please give Dr. Frank a chance to speak.
Oh, Prof, please you can say something. I'm sorry, my memory, I don't know. Prof, please, I apologize. Please kindly take the microphone.
No, let's have a few more people speak. Can you hear me?
Swamsy? Yes, we can hear you, Prof.
Yeah, let's have a few more submissions. Prof, you have a lot of echo from your, maybe you have two gadgets in your room. How is that? There's still, yeah, you can just mute one and then you can continue. Let's just have one more submission.
We have Dr. Kaweru on call. Can he take over as Dr. Frank gets ready if there is no any other quick submission?
SG is here as well.
Well, I think we can first wait to have Prof speak. We need to have a few women executive members and FUMI executive members communicate. Then Prof can be the last person. Please, moderator, I beg to submit. This is
Yes,
Dr. Jacob, FUMI president.
Okay. Yes, go ahead.
Now, members, good evening. This is Dr. Jacob, and I have listened into this part of the meeting. Hope I'm clear. Hope I'm clear. I would like to first thank you for the effort that you have put in to accommodate the arrested. Thank you so much for the courage. And like we talked in the beginning, there was a lot of goodwill from people who were willing to help us. And the person who has forced us to reach this far is still alive and kicking and watching us. So I want to tell you that the person you're up against is a strong one. Where we have reached because God has wished us to reach here. Now, first of all, I would like to distance myself to the statements made by PSU and WUMA. According to me, they were rushed statements, and I would have wished that either an emergency executive meeting or an emergency general assembly would have sat to make a decision. But I also like to assure you that presidents reserve rights to decide on behalf of the executive in emergency situations. That is leadership. So the statements must be respected. I also like to tell you that the damage done as we talk now is next to being irreversible. I will tell you that in the beginning, I was one of the members that insisted that you should not report anywhere before this policy is reversed. And I have no shame that I made that decision. And it is because of that decision that we have reached this far. I was also part of the people who insisted that we go a little bit aggressive so that the minister is finally put on the cabinet order paper. Because for most of us may not have known that the minister had been denied an opportunity to go on the cabinet order paper. Last week, the Prime Minister had put this on the cabinet order paper, and it was #1. But I also want to tell you that the person you are fighting successfully had it scrapped off that order paper. But when people were arrested, it woke up a lot of people, and this week, as that is starting yesterday, they were put back on the cabinet order paper. And what has come out, you have heard today. This would have come out 4 weeks ago when he promised on the floor of parliament that he will go back to cabinet. Now, moving forward, we were worried of doing internship for free. They have put back the 1 million, which has been there for the last 2 or 3 years. Members, changing this will be hard. This one I want to be frank with you. Number 2, it is very hard for us now to get the public sympathy that we had generated again if we refuse the 1 million. Number 3, the other next thing that was hurting in that policy was retaining people in the medical school after completing their degrees, and of which the ministers were clear about it, that it has also been reversed. Now, members, with the statements already released from the 2 strongest association bodies in the medical fraternity, it would be not right for you to go against the statements as of now. I agree. We at one point opposed, because the advice was that we report, and we opposed the reporting. But I'm now telling you at this point in time that the best idea is that we report so that we maintain the goodwill of those who have supported us. Please, let us maintain the goodwill. You have seen people talk about these stories, but it is because we have engaged these people. That's why they have been talking about reporting. So, however much we say that we shall not report, with the allowance that has been available for the last 2 years, members, my personal opinion is that we report.
Do you mind they have not answered other thing, even though you are speaking on your behalf? You have got a theme, Jacob. Mind about what they have not answered behind. Don't mind for today.
What have we achieved today? There is nothing. What have we gotten? Totally nothing.
This person is just a politician.
You listen. Now, you see where we go wrong is failure to respect people's opinions. Because personally, I'm the current president of FUMI, though I have seen people name themselves presidents of FUMI. I have given late and advice at every one point, including signing documents for everyone who comes up with something tangible. You may not know what has been going through in all the background, but listen to your leaders. Listen to your leaders. This I am telling you today. I have finished internship not even more than a month ago. I know what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, it is your decision whether to report or not to report. It is your decision. But as somebody who has fought on the ground of the person you are fighting, and the person you are fighting, by the way, is not Chris Bariomus. It's not. He's not the one. And I have read this policy from the beginning to the end. I started fighting this policy in March. I didn't start last month, but one. In March, you can even go on YouTube and see all the videos. We have been fighting this policy. So we know this policy. We know it. So we have given, I personally have given you my advice, but it is up to you to take it or to leave it. Thank you so much.
No, pardon. In one statement, Dr. Jacob, in 2 lines, you summarize whatever you have said and tell us why you want us to report.
Shego, the reason as why I want you to report is that the stand government has taken has been the status quo for the last 3 years. That is number one. Number two, read the fighting ground. Read the fighting ground. You can read it. Read the fighting ground. The fighting ground where it is as we talk, with the statements made by the 2 giant bodies. We really have no ground, Shego, to fight back. We really have no ground.
But Jacob, I understand, Uma.
By the president.
Pardon, wait. I understand Uma and PSU have released their statements, but I'm saying, hey, the rush. After all, the deadline is even Friday. Why the rush? Why did you release statements just immediately? The minister makes something and then you release statements. Jacob, let me tell you this. I am Shego. Pardon, wait. Current, this struggle from the beginning, from March, I have been the mastermind. I got, even the people I surrounded myself with, Chirunda, Derek, Okanya. Of course, there was this committee, but I later found that those people were redundant. So and they were not putting in the energy. So I got the inner core by myself, with my own hands. I met them based on the qualities. Listen, I'm making my point. Based on the qualities each one had, I identified the potential. I brought them on board. I said, let's do this. I brought plans. We sat down. We planned everything. We made event after event. In March, we did not have any media attention. Our activities have brought media attention. All this media attention you're seeing, everything, we calculated it from the very beginning. The press conference after press conference. If I want a press conference tomorrow, I call who? I call Derek Finance. I call Chirunda. I be like, tomorrow you're having a press conference. After that, I say, I think let's march to ministry. After that, I say, I think let's march to parliament. I think let's engage this, let's engage that. And we have fought that up to now. And this is the time that we have gotten the attention of the state, the attention of the parliament, the attention of the media. That is, we have worked a lot for this. I have spent sleepless nights personally. I have gone to prison. That march to parliament, I knew that we were going to prison. Don't get me wrong. I'm not getting emotional, but I'm just emphasizing a good argument.
May I interrupt?
Wait. So I knew, but now at the point whereby we have established bargaining ground, because for us we knew that ministry and government, they are going to come up and they provide that 1 million, and we were ready. But we knew that when that happens, we can still leverage and bargain for something more, even if it's like 2 million, even if it's like 1.5, even if it's like 2.5, whatever, we can still bargain. I don't understand why people have lost hope, Jacob. I don't understand why you have lost hope. I don't understand why these stakeholders released a statement immediately. The moment minister said this,
guys, we have other people who want to speak also. 2 hours, same people. Let's have other people speak. We are over 2,000 and we have just a group of people talking.
My stand is, Jacob, I don't know why we have lost hope. I don't understand why we have lost hope. I still feel that we can get more. The reason as to why I've told you where we have come from March is to show you that if by faith we came from not having any attention to now having, I hear even the Kenyans also talked about the issue and what. If we came from zero to here, can't we proceed? That is the reason why I've told you where we came from the very beginning. So I want other people to react.
Let me tell you one thing. I have evidence, even where they have called Jacob and some member, they talk to them. Now, I can even forward their picture. The point is, mind about the future of tomorrow, people who are coming. Jacob, you have finished your intern. The point is, they will not motivate us more than 2 months. And it's the end. They want only people to report and they start working and everything will end after the 2 months. No more payment. I want to ask Jacob, where are the official documents the Ministry of Health are endorsing? Where are the official documents the cabinet endorsed to allow us to report? If you are authentic, be careful when you are talking to a group of people. Don't be like Ogwang. Don't enter where Ogwang battle has entered. I'm sorry.
Can I reply?
Wait, reply with it. Jacob, people like us who are not striking for 1 million, you mean we don't have interest? We are just left out like that because others have been given 1 million? For us, the million is not our problem. The police and other things. Think about it.
Can I reply?
Go ahead.
Can I reply? First of all, I want to guide a few members that to some of us, our reputation is the most important thing that we have. You can't bring accusations which are really baseless that I was called somewhere. Called by who and where? Bring evidence, surely. But I don't need evidence because I've never been called anywhere. That is one. That's a by the way anyway. 2, now members, let me tell you. I understand somebody who says we cannot stop this battle because people have been offered 1 million. 1 million has not been my biggest focus. My biggest advice is this. As of now, the biggest thing that the public had taken up to support us were allowances. But we all know we want this policy withdrawn. Now, when you ask for official documents from me now, tomorrow I can write to the minister and tell him we need an official document. I have that right. I'm the president. I can write. Even today, if you want it, I can write with demand for that, so that by Thursday, we have the official documents. That one I can write. 2, if we have other demands besides this, that is what we should be discussing. That is what we should be discussing. That the demand ABCD has not been met yet, and therefore we take step ABCD. That is what I expect to hear.
That is what this is supposed to do.
Otherwise, I've been part of this battle. I know who has been active and who has not been active. All those documents you see for me with my stamp, it is me. There is no document that goes on my stamp that makes a stamp without knowing. So I know the people. Shego knows very well.
Can I speak? We're now iterating into a one-on-one. Can I speak, please?
Good. So thank you so much.
You can speak. You can speak.
We can listen to Prof.
Okay, thank you very much, colleagues. Thank you for being on the call for now. Is it 1 hour? Almost 2 hours. Secondly, let me thank you for the fight so far. It has reached a point where allow me to use some Runyankole phrases. I understand the anger, and the anger is justified. But you must keep zooming in, but stepping back. If you over zoom in, you'll be in trouble. You'll knock a wall. But also if you over zoom out, you might miss the dots. So each one of us involved, please zoom in, get the micro picture, but zoom out and keep the bigger picture. You have done histology, you've done microscopy, but you've also used binoculars, you've driven, you know what I'm talking about. And I will say that slowly and say it again. If you keep just zoomed in, you will knock. But also if you keep zoomed out, you will miss the point. So let's do both. First of all, I want to congratulate those who have put up a fight so far. And there are many. We've played different roles. It's not a time to thump our chests. It's not a time to demean anyone's effort and elevate any other person's effort. History will exonerate each one of us, but it has not been easy on anyone. It's not been easy on anyone. Action X may have succeeded because of some action Y. Now, the action Y may not have been seen. Okay? I may have done action B and it made it big on media. It led to ABC, but action B could not have happened because of action A, which action A may not be known. So please, let's slow down. Let's slow down at over amplifying what individual X has done and demeaning what individual Y has done. Bottom line is that we're in this together. I've told you time and again that this is a battle, but it's not the whole war. We're in a bigger war. We're in a bigger war. This is just one battle, one engagement. Let me call it an engagement. In a war, you've got many engagements. If you have been following the Ukraine-Russia war, there are many fronts. There are many engagements, drone attacks, ballistic missiles, and all that, and so on and so forth. I don't want to bore you. Similarly, you've seen the Iran-America war. America bombs the whole night, and thinks it's over. You know, we have defeated them, we have decapitated them. Lo and behold, they come up. I am saying this again and again to put your mind into what we are into. We are not into a simple battle, okay? And but before I go on, let me first commiserate with those who are incarcerated. Being in prison is not a thing that I would wish on even my worst enemy. So I feel so bad. I feel so bad that you people were arrested. One of you was put under the Kabangali. That was bad. The lady, I think she's called Jane, the way they pushed her and pulled her, her legs are not touching the ground. It's very traumatizing. There's what they call post-traumatic stress disorder. I am more worried about that than the 1 million and the internship period. The trauma that you experienced by being in the police cells, then going to Ruzira, showing up in handcuffs. I saw some of you had put on hoodies and had put on masks. It's very traumatizing. It's not something that one would wish to go through. So please welcome back. Sorry about that, but that's the cost of freedom. That's the cost of our rights. We had our demands and we have made some gains. And please, for emphasis' sake, no one has played any role on their own. It has been a concerted effort. Yes, this battle line is for you. It's for you guys. It's for you guys. This is your battle line. You call the shots, and for us, we support you. It is on record, me, I did not support the not reporting. I don't mince words about it. But nonetheless, I supported it vehemently as much as I could do. So it is your battle line, you call the shots. So at the end of this meeting, I don't know whether that was the aim of this meeting, If you say you're not reporting, we will support you. You are joking. We know how to do these things. If you say you're not reporting, we will support you. If you say you're reporting, it's up to you. What I wrote was a suggestion, okay? If all of you have been on the FUMI platform, I wrote a suggestion. I posted 2 posts. One was at about, let me just check, 10 something. Okay, I'm in a slightly different time zone. It was at 10:34, call it 11:34 Ugandan time. And then at 11:36, 2 minutes later, I improved it and added, I suggest, and I'll read it verbatim. Please, esteemed colleagues, fellow fighters, even fighters was misspelled. The mighty interns 2026-27, semicolon. I suggest that report, of course I missed the U, to your internship post station with immediate effect. We shall pick up the fight from there. After you have 1, a title as an intern, 2, tools, a duty allocation, 3, supervisor to befriend, 4, leadership, FUMI, and a win, number 5, and a win in the bag, this declaration, and I signed it. Because the first one, I didn't sign it. I didn't put I think I put my titles, Frank Asimu. That is what I released, okay? That is what I released. A WhatsApp post on a WhatsApp group, one WhatsApp group. How it made it to other WhatsApp groups, that's okay, it happens. How it got signed, it happens. I take responsibility for all that, but I am not the author of everything else that happened. But I stand by my suggestion. Why? These were our asks. Withdraw the NETH policy, okay, for discussion. That has been said. And of course, quickly, I will say there are no official documents as yet to back up this. But they cannot be on the floor of parliament at 10 in the morning and the document to back what they have said is there at the same time. The document will come. I don't know. If it doesn't come, that becomes contentious. But let's move step by step. Withdraw the policy that is being said. Okay? To me, I put a tick on that one. Of course, all the ticks wait for documents to support. Deploy all. That was done. Okay? I put a tick on that one. Pay all, that has been clarified, that even the interns who are not government sponsored are going to be paid. The only contentious issues that are remaining are pay all of them 4 million. Okay? We're now being told it's going to be 1 million. So to me, that's a contentious issue. Okay? And the other contentious issue is pay monthly. So if I have got 3 wins out of 5, and the fourth contention, they have moved from 0 to at least 1 million. Why must I not reciprocate? Okay? And bait. I told you, you have to bait and counter bait. If they bait you and you bite that bait, you are in trouble. You are in a lot of trouble. And again, please don't misunderstand me. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying as threats. But we are in a fight. They bait you, you counter bait them. In fact, at the end of this meeting, and these are my suggestions, they are just suggestions. Please don't, they are not commands. UMA does not command you guys. Okay? You are an independent body. You can work on your own fruition. And we can support you. Do not underestimate the people you're fighting with. And also don't over-assume. Okay? Don't make too many assumptions on the people you are banking on. I'll give you an example. 1992, I was in second year medical school. I wanted to stand for president, guild president. And there's a guy I wanted to ask to nominate me. I knew if this guy nominates me, I am done. I'll have bagged it. When I went to ask him to nominate me, the guy was also standing for guild president. And indeed, he stood and won. So don't overestimate your assumptions. Don't overestimate the Uganda Medical Association you're talking about, which must back you and must withdraw. My friend, I have my fingers on the pulse of Uganda Medical Association. You don't know how much pain I am going through to defend some of the things you see me talking about. In some of these things, I am in them solo, alone, with maybe 1 or 2 people. I can grandiose that I'm Uganda Medical Association, but when I know what is behind me is small. So when I make some statements, when I make some suggestions, you better read between the lines. You better climb off your high horse. Dr. Shego, I'm really sorry. Even your voice has gone a bit hoarse. I pity you so much. But you have begun the battle in March. My brother, we began this battle long ago. The court in the case in court. No, this particular one, when we were pursuing the case in court of the guys whose money was removed in October, we were told that you guys are crying for this 300 who have, that worse is coming. We have been these doldrums for long. We have engaged in all these battles in 2020, Simanyi Bichi, 2017, internship, SHO. I was an SHO in 2000 and 2001. I fought for allowances for interns, for SHOs. Housing, they threw us out of the house. I had to bring dogs to Doctor's Village. So you may be talking about March. That is okay. That is very big, my friend. March, you have been fighting, blah, blah, blah. But we have been in it a bit longer. So, and again, these are just suggestions. It's for you guys to decide. Whatever you decide, we'll back you up. But don't overestimate our backing. So, if you report, whether tomorrow or Friday or Saturday or next week, when you report, it doesn't matter. But what does it give you? Now let's look at each other. You are 500 and you are 610. And that's why I put on my camera, so that we can look at each other in the eyes, okay? And we're not missing words. Right now, are you interns? Are you pre-interns? What are you? Let's look at each other and speak the truth in love, as the Bible says. So by reporting, you become interns, my brothers and my sisters. By reporting, you look at the contract. You don't even know what is in the contract. You look at the contract. By reporting, you are given the tools to lay down. Because now what tools do you have? Other than saying I am staying at home. But if you report to Yumbe, report to Kabale, report to Mbarara, you are deployed. The healthcare of those hospitals where you are deployed is in your hands. What happens, you have a say about it. But right now, you have no say. You are little on our masses. If, for instance, now we flip, if a certain section of the doctors now flips and says, we can manage without them, what will you do? And they say, we can manage. That no, for us in Yumbe, we can manage. For us in Gulu, we can manage. Of course, we are not managing. We are struggling. And some of it, we are in Mlago. I have toned down the clinics. I've toned down the admissions. But what if I say, okay, I'll work, don't work? So report and have the tools. Have the tools. Don't overplay your hands, my brethren. We have gained a lot, but don't overplay your hand. You will die in your own movie. Make friends with your supervisors. You know, Dr. Shego, that I have got a list of 50, and I need to check what it is today. 50 supervisors from whom I've extracted promises that they are going to go easy on you. What if you join me in that effort? And meanwhile, I'm talking. Please, if you interrupt me, I'm going to stop talking. I don't want to compete with you. This is your Zoom call, and you call the shots. I'm not going to shout with you guys. So please keep quiet and listen. Let me see. There are how many? There are 53. I've got 53 supervisors. You have got 77 stations, internship stations. I've got 53 of them here. And I have managed to convince them to go easy on you. How better will it be if you are there and you befriend them? So that should we need, because forget about these things they've circulated on social media. I'm going to write. Do you have any doubt that I know how to write? And I know how to produce official statements? Have you seen any official statement from me? A placard like a queue for speeches with my signature on. My signature is all over the place. It's on the internet. I have not yet communicated. My friend, I have not yet communicated. Is that how I communicate? Haven't you seen my communication? I made a suggestion to you guys to sit and consider, to surprise these guys. And tomorrow, all of you are in those units and you shock them. So you're going to make friends with those supervisors. Number 5, you don't have a government. Must I tell you that? Dr. Jacob is still the president of FUMI. We don't want to say this in public, but quietly behind the doors, Dr. Shego, you are not the president. Dr. Alta, you are not the president. The president of FUMI is Dr. Jacob. You need to form a government quickly. You people, which other language do you want me to tell you? You need to form a government quickly. A government which is formed on the agenda. These guys, and I know amongst these guys are spies, and they are going to report me. And I'm already in trouble. I'm getting so many phone calls. They are going to stage manage this election if you're not careful. And before you know it, you're going to have stooges in this cabinet of yours which are going to form. I'm warning you, I'm telling you. So you need to quickly report within 1 week, form a government, and begin planning for whatever has not happened. If you think you've appeared on TV 3 times, therefore you are war. If you think because you've gone to prison, my friend, how many asses are rotting in prison? Asses that have done a lot more than yourself. So that use those bad words. People who fought, people who rescued people. Don't make me give examples. And they're on ice. It doesn't matter what you've gone through. Don't overplay your hands, my brethren. You're talking about Kenya. My friend, those Kenya things, I am the one who has been putting them there. Right now, we have passed a resolution in Kanma. Do you even know what Kanma is? Coalition of Africa Medical Association. We are about to release a statement. Tomorrow or at the end of this week, we're going to release a statement in condemnation of what the government is doing. We are putting our resources at your disposal. Please don't bite the hand that is trying to help you. The decision is yours. Our support is ours. And we are promising you our support, but do not overplay your hand. I submit.
Thank you so much for that wonderful submission, Prof. Yeah, it's really insightful. And thank you everyone for your contributions, Prof. And for me, you guys have always stood for us, and generally everyone, the interns. I think I don't have much to add on that, unless you have any reactions.
Yes, our hands are up.
Okay.
Let's have the poll. Dr. Kabweru was on call and Dr. Alon.
Dr. Kabweru, Dr. Kabweru and Dr. Alon, you're going to say something. Let's start with Dr. Kabweru, then Dr. Alon will say something also.
Let SG speak something and then I'll just give you. But when the president speaks, in real sense, we are not meant to speak. Now I'll teach you leadership, governance.
They have disrupted the protocol, but it's okay. These are abnormal times.
Yeah, abnormal times. So, Dr. SG first speaker, then I give just a brief thing.
Got it. Thank you, colleagues on call.
But they don't remember what the other VP said that similar go get a
Thank you, colleagues on call. I want to, in a special way, welcome the colleagues who had been arrested and incarcerated. I want to reiterate that we have been behind the scenes, sometimes in front of the scenes, to ensure that you come back safely. And we are very happy that you're back. I want to thank the other colleagues who have been doing whatever they can to support. The first thing you need in life is freedom. And once that freedom is withdrawn, the rest now can be put on hold until your freedom is regained. So we're happy that you're back and safe. About the issue at hand, reporting or not reporting, our president has already told you that that decision is yours to make. We can only advise you, but the decision is yours to make. Of course, you need to know that whatever decision you make has consequences. So calculate your moves very well. If you feel not reporting gives you competitive advantage, please withhold the reporting. If you think with the advice given to you at your disposal, reporting is to your advantage, then act according. That decision should be yours. And that is why I am a founder member of FUMI. That's why we made FUMI. Because UMA used to be a problem for us. They would tell us, please don't report. Yet for us, we want to we want to report. It would tell us, please report. Yet for us, we would want what? Not to report. That is a main reason why FUMI was formed. So exercise that right. But please bear the consequences of those decisions. For us, we'll give you the advice according to what we see. We may be wrong, we may be right. So make those decisions and bear the consequences of those decisions. That's what I will say in summary. But otherwise, like the president said, we will support you in whatever decision you make. Thank you.
So what do we do if the contracts on sites do not show anything about allowance?
That is your decision to make, please.
Now, those are the questions we need to schedule answers for.
Guys,
But first,
I still think we can boycott even when the internship policy doesn't change. We can lay down tools when we are interns, but first we have to report.
Maybe you can give me some opportunity
That
to
is
speak
your opinion.
See,
some answers
you
there.
see, in my own opinion, people have been reporting even without anything promised. Now that the ministry has promised 1M, trust me, the people that are reporting is going to be like at least 50% of the people that were deployed. And that gives the minister the upper hand. If he sees like 1,000 plus have reported, he has won. So I agree with what Dr. Frank says, that we report and then like change strategies. And after we boycott
But now we
later.
have less time not to give
Maybe the
opinion.
fight is still on, but we
get
can
answer.
still fight, but after we report.
Okay.
Dr. Kabwe speak.
Thank you. Maybe let us speak and then we get some answers. Thank you very much, colleagues. I also thank the president and his entourage, wherever they are, representing UMAID and the entire country. And I want to report that actually we're also standing in the hot shoes, and we have ably been there wherever we have been asked to be. First of all, I want to thank the government of the Republic of Uganda for accepting, first of all, to listen using all means. That should be a very good plus. Because sometimes you refuse. This government has given people a run of their money. Sometimes they refuse to listen. But we should take it in a positive response. But before I thank government, first of all, I want to say, all of you, I want you to always do like what King David did. Thank the Lord every day. And that is how he wrote nearly the 125 out of 150 Psalms. He's a man who fought wars without being left alone. That means he had a big heart like God. And I want you to learn one thing. I heard one of you say so. So let us thank God and we thank the government. Third, you know, I have a lot of SOPs. I follow SOPs when I'm talking. Third, we celebrate our heroes. The 8 doctors who sacrificed their lives and they are still standing the test of the courts of law, which are not very good in our setting of late. You see, even when we were in courts of law, I was listening in to the judge when he was chasing us out, chasing in, and then commenting about how bad we are, refusing to give free consultation. And then, you know, I'm small size, I was in front there and seated and quiet. And then eventually listening in and say our sureties are not what? Good. But we celebrate you. The 8 doctors,
and really forever we shall be. You have made it the hardest sacrifice that no human being can actually stand. And then I want to say, we want to thank our lawyers. Our lawyers, even the Honorable Tinka Simire, who was there on public. He has 4 doctors who come from his home, and that's the reason he came. And the works that we do, we don't take it for granted. Obviously, Namaganda was there, our council, and then other people, even PSU sent us a lawyer. So for me, I'm giving you a report, and then some details you might have not known, but I'm giving to the entire team, including my president who is listening in, because they left me in that office. And we had very good representation, even others. But also I want to thank a UMA fraternity. We have gotten a lot of support and a lot of resources, and also not forgetting our parents. And I listened into the bite by one of the parents. I don't know whose mother it was, but she put the point very clear. I want to thank you. And all the persons, organizations, and coalitions and resources, we got a lot of monies. Even 50th medical students paid, others, and others, so many anonymized people would not want to be known. We are very grateful. I want to thank the honorable MPs. All of us have been reaching out to different MPs, and then LOP, the Prime Minister, the VP, the President himself of the Republic of Uganda, we want to thank him because he listened. And our Honorable Chris Valiomunsi, I've met the Minister personally earlier before this in our own calendar science style. And I'm hopeful, actually, we are thankful that actually he has been pushing. He has been blocked, but he is still penetrating. We should not take it for granted. As the president said, what you're fighting is bigger than what you think. That gentleman has fought and is still fighting, because even the cabinet people, they had not allowed him to put those things there. So we are demanding, but we should be cautious that he is putting also his life on the line. We want to thank the Minister of Health and top management. You may think they are very negative, they are positive. And actually, one person reached out and said, thank you for lobbying for more budget so that at the end we also support the interns and other people. You remember, we have a lot of stakes. We have the SHOs coming, we have the associate consultants, we have even our allowances, we have even the taxes they're talking about we want to be chopped, so that when they give you 1.2, it is not 1 million at the end of the day. So we have unfinished business. But also we want to thank the invisible colleagues here. There are people on this platform, sometimes we call them spies. No, some of them are not spies, some are, some are not. But they reach to the president and they make his heart soften. And I will not mention their names, they are invisible, but that is how life is. If you read the book of Animal Farm, you find there are some animals that are more bigger than others, and we have them, and we thank God we have them, even on WhatsApps. And they are not bad people. We may be saying a lot of things, but they take some good things. That's why the president is a little soft on us. But also we want to thank the whole public at large. We have gotten a lot of mercy. That's why even you see this money is coming. But also we want to thank the media, the platforms, online, print, and then radios and the rest. And then the expenses and what. We have gotten a lot of mercy. People have listened to us. People have taken information. The big and short guys have listened. The big ones, and then and also we want to thank, by the way, let me also thank the leadership of UMA, NEC, and all other organizations, FUMI, the Printan, the PSU, and the rest. But we want to thank Dr. Frank, has also put his life online. Yeah, sometimes he has been hard, even linking up with other guys like the Uganda Law Society and others. And now, I want to follow the shoes of my president, his words of wisdom. He says, report. Now I'm going to teach you what he was telling you. It is called corporate governance, management, and leadership. And that's where I'm also a specialist. As you report, it means you are reporting on a promise of the minister. Now, in the first communication which they had given you in a contract or in what we call business and company law, when you have a contract and these three things are there, it becomes a binding. When you have the offer, they gave an offer, and you have heard me speak on different medias, which was saying you are going to a training site or a health facility. The second thing is you refused it because one, but your refusal was implied because there was no lack of consideration. What the minister communicated on the floor parliament had three things. There's an offer. They have given you training site where you're going to do your internship. Good. You have accepted by implication. And three, there's a consideration. A consideration here means money or barter trade or something. So these three, in his promise, you can even get that cheap and go with it. And the good thing he has said, the cabinet has also withdrawn the bad what? So as he withdraws, you're also going to leave us with work to do. So I also reiterate and say, go and report on these promises and start duty. And I want to tell you, the request we had of industrial action is easier when you are inside the system. If they refuse, I know they will have to orient you in a week. They will have to make sure you get your contracts and whatsoever. So when they are inducting you, don't worry.
VP,
yes.
Continue.
Okay. I'm just summarizing. So what you do when you report, then we shall follow up with the commitment letters. Those are the documentation from Ministry of Health, which is our line ministry, and I know they will come. But when you reach there, please do the following thing. Get leadership, because they are going to ask you, get site leadership, get FUMI leadership, and organize handover very fast. Let Dr. Jacob hand over, and you get your tools or tools of work, and then you will start. Now the gymnastics will start there. We start communicating, and we shall give you support. As my SG has guided, I can speak until tomorrow, but let me end there. For any questions, please, you are free to reach any of us, and we are available. And thank you very much. For God and my country, service with honor. God bless you. Please report. We shall give you all the support when you're there, and we shall also not going to stop. And we are going to treat you very well, and we shall keep robbing. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much for your submission, Dr. Kaweru. Yes, I think some of you can see the results of the poll being displayed in the meeting. I don't know if we should use these results or if we should make another poll tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe you can all get it. But for now, you can see that 54%, that's 291 out of 536, are saying we should report. And then 245 out of 536 saying we should not report. So those are the current results from the poll. However, as a strategist, I can say that if I'm devising a strategy and I find that 53, okay, find that 46% are saying maybe no reporting and 54% are saying report, then I would abandon the ship of no reporting. Even if the 54 were saying that report and the 46 were saying that, even if the 54 were